I'm writing this from a gas station bathroom in rural Vermont. My phone has 12% battery left, and I don't know if anyone will believe me, but I need to document what happened at that cabin. My girlfriend Claire booked us a romantic getaway for Valentine's Day weekend, a secluded cabin in the woods 2 hours north of Burlington. No cell service, no Wi-Fi, just us, she said. It sounded perfect. We arrived Friday evening, February 13th. The cabin was exactly as advertised, small, rustic, isolated. The nearest neighbor was 3 miles away. Claire had brought everything: candles, wine, ingredients for a nice dinner. She was so excited. That first night was great. We cooked together, drank wine by the fireplace, went to bed happy. I remember thinking this was exactly what we needed after months of stressful work schedules. I woke up around 3 a.m. to use the bathroom. Claire wasn't in bed. I figured she couldn't sleep and went downstairs. The cabin was dark except for a light coming from the basement door, which was open. We hadn't gone down there yet. "Claire?" I called. No answer. I walked down the wooden steps. They creaked loudly. The basement was unfinished, concrete floor, exposed beams, that musty smell old basements have. Claire was standing in the corner with her back to me, completely still. "Babe, what are you doing down here?" She didn't turn around, didn't acknowledge me at all. "Claire?" When she finally turned, her face was blank, empty, like she was sleepwalking. Her eyes were open, but she wasn't seeing me. "Are you okay?" I reached for her arm. She jerked away violently and walked past me up the stairs without a word. I followed her back to the bedroom. She got into bed, pulled the covers up, and closed her eyes. Within seconds, she was breathing like she was asleep. I barely slept after that. The next morning, Valentine's Day, I asked her about it. She had no memory of going to the basement. She laughed it off, said she'd probably been sleepwalking. She'd never slept-walked before, but I wanted to believe her. We spent the day hiking, came back to cook dinner. Everything seemed normal. Claire was her usual self, laughing, affectionate, happy. I'd almost forgotten about the night before. After dinner, she suggested we take a walk to see the stars. It was a clear night, freezing cold, but beautiful. We bundled up and walked down the dirt road away from the cabin. About 10 minutes in, Claire stopped walking. "Do you hear that?" she asked. I listened, just the wind through the trees, our breathing. "What do you hear?" "The singing." I didn't hear any singing. "Claire, there's nothing." "Shh!" She tilted her head like she was concentrating. "It's coming from the woods. It's beautiful." She started walking off the road into the trees. "Claire, stop! What are you doing?" But she kept walking, pushing through the underbrush. I had no choice but to follow. My phone flashlight was almost useless against the darkness. I kept calling her name, but she didn't respond, just kept walking deeper into the woods like she knew exactly where she was going. After maybe 15 minutes, I lost sight of her completely. "Claire!" Nothing, just the wind. I was panicking now, sweeping my flashlight in every direction. Then I saw it, a faint light through the trees ahead. I ran towards it. There was a clearing, and in the clearing was a small stone structure, like an old well or foundation. Claire was standing at the edge of it, looking down into it. "Claire, please, we need to go back." She turned to me then, and I will never forget her expression. She was smiling, but it wasn't her smile. It was wrong, too wide. Her eyes were completely black in the moonlight. "They want me to stay," she said. Her voice sounded layered, like multiple people speaking at once. "Who wants you to stay? Claire, you're scaring me." "The ones who live below. They've been calling me since we arrived. They're so lonely.
They want me to join them. They promised me I'll never be alone again." I grabbed her arm. "We're leaving, now." She looked at my hand on her arm, then back at my face. "Do you love me?" "Yes, of course, but then let me go." She pulled away from me and stepped closer to the edge of that stone structure. I could hear water moving far below, and something else, something that might have been singing or might have been wind or might have been screaming. I couldn't tell. "If you love me, you'll let me be happy," she said. "They promised me I'll never feel sad again, never feel lonely, never feel pain." I did the only thing I could think of. I tackled her. We both hit the ground hard and she started screaming, this horrible, inhuman sound that didn't stop. I dragged her away from that structure, through the woods, back to the road. She fought me the entire way, scratching, biting, screaming that I was hurting her, that I was keeping her from them. When we got back to the cabin, I locked us inside, held her down on the couch until the screaming stopped and she passed out. I stayed awake all night, watching her. At dawn, she woke up. She looked at me with normal eyes and asked why we were on the couch. She didn't remember the woods, didn't remember the structure, had no explanation for the scratches on my arms. I told her we were leaving immediately. She protested, said we'd paid for 2 nights, that I was being paranoid. But I packed our stuff and we left as fast as we could. But for the first time, I felt that the person sitting beside me in the car wasn't the person I came with. I don't expect anyone to believe me, but I need to get this out there. It started 3 weeks ago, on January 22nd. I remember the date because it was my birthday, and I'd just gotten home from a disappointing dinner with my ex-girlfriend Rachel. We'd been trying the whole let's stay friends thing, but it was awkward as hell. She spent most of dinner talking about her new boyfriend, and I spent most of it wondering why I'd agreed to meet up in the first place. When I got back to my apartment in Chicago, there was a card on my doormat. A Valentine's Day card, which was weird because Valentine's was still 3 weeks away and I definitely wasn't seeing anyone. The envelope was red and had my name written on it in this old-fashioned cursive handwriting that looked like something from 100 years ago. I figured maybe it was from Rachel, some kind of peace offering or nostalgic gesture. But when I opened it, the card inside made my stomach drop. It was one of those vintage-looking Valentines with a creepy Victorian child on the front, holding a bouquet of dead roses, the kind of thing you'd find in an antique shop. The message inside was written in that same elaborate handwriting. "My dearest Valentine, I have waited so very long for you. Soon we shall be together forever, with all my eternal love." No signature, no name, just that message that made the hairs on my neck stand up. I threw it in the trash and tried to forget about it. Probably just some weird prank, right? Maybe one of my buddies from work trying to mess with me. But then, the next morning, it was back. I'm not kidding. The exact same card was sitting on my kitchen counter when I woke up. I'd taken the trash out the night before, so there was no way it could have fallen out or anything, and my apartment door was locked. I live on the 3rd floor, so nobody could have come through the windows. I checked my phone, my laptop, my credit cards. Nothing was missing. Nothing was out of place except for that damn card sitting there like it had never left. That's when I started getting scared. Over the next few days, the card kept appearing. I'd burn it, and it would show up in my medicine cabinet. I'd tear it into pieces and flush it down the toilet, and it would be on my pillow that night. I'd lock it in my car's trunk, and it would be in my work desk the next morning. And each time the message changed slightly, always in that same Victorian handwriting. My darling, why do you run from me? I have loved you across lifetimes. Or, my sweet Valentine, I feel your fear. Soon you will understand. Or, my beloved, I am coming for you. February 14th draws near. I stopped sleeping. Every shadow in my apartment seemed to move. Every creak of the floorboards made me jump. I'd catch glimpses of something in my peripheral vision, a dark figure standing just outside my field of view, but when I'd turn to look, nothing would be there. I went to the police, but what can I tell them? A card keeps reappearing in my apartment? They looked at me like I was crazy. One officer suggested I might want to talk to someone about stress. I called Rachel, thinking maybe she could explain this somehow, but she swore she had nothing to do with it. She sounded genuinely worried about me. "Jake," she said, "you sound paranoid. Are you sleeping? Maybe you should see a doctor." But I'm not crazy. I know what I'm experiencing is real. Yesterday, February 11th, things escalated. I woke up at 3 a.m. to find my entire apartment covered in those Victorian Valentine's cards. Hundreds of them, maybe thousands, papering every wall, every surface. They were on the ceiling, the floor, inside the refrigerator, inside my dresser drawers. All with different messages, but all from my mysterious admirer. And in the bathroom mirror, written in what looked like old dried blood, were the words, "3 more days, my love." I'm writing this from a motel room across town. I packed a bag and left my apartment this morning, but I know it won't help, because when I checked into this room an hour ago and opened my suitcase, the card was already there, sitting on top of my clothes. The message this time said, "Distance means nothing to true love. I will find you wherever you go. Our Valentine's Day will be special. I have waited 127 years for you, my darling. Just 3 more days until we are wed." I don't know what's going to happen on Valentine's Day. I don't know who or what is doing this to me, but I can feel it getting closer. The temperature in this room keeps dropping, and I can see my breath even though the heater's running full blast. Sometimes, when it's really quiet, I can hear breathing that isn't mine. I'm scared to go to sleep. I'm scared to stay awake. Valentine's Day is in 3 days, and something tells me that whatever's been haunting me is finally going to show itself. If anyone reading this has experienced something similar, please, please tell me what to do. I'm running out of time, and I don't think I can run anymore.
I've never been big on Valentine's Day. It always felt forced, like a holiday invented to make single people feel worse, and couples spend more money. But last year, my wife decided we needed to do something different. She'd been scrolling dating apps, not for us, just out of boredom, and found this couple looking for a low-key double date on February 14th. She thought it'd be fun, spontaneous, a little adventurous. I went along because she was excited. And honestly, I figured worst case, we'd have a weird story and free drinks. We met them at one of those trendy bars on Rainy Street. You know the kind, old houses turned into bars with string lights, food trucks out back, people spilling onto the sidewalk. Place was packed. Live music thumping from somewhere. Everyone dressed nicer than usual because of the date. Our table was outside, under a big oak tree wrapped in fairy lights. They showed up maybe 5 minutes late. He was tall, button-down shirt tucked in, nice watch. She was quieter, smiled a lot, but didn't say much.
We did the usual small talk. Where you from? What do you do? How long you've been together? They said they'd been dating a little over a year. He worked in tech, something with cloud security. She was in marketing for a startup downtown. We told them we live out in Round Rock now, moved there after the kids started school. Normal stuff. About 20 minutes in, he started asking more specific questions. Not creepy at first, just detailed. "So you guys are in Round Rock?" he said, swirling his whiskey. "Old Settlers Park area or closer to the outlet mall?" I laughed it off. "Nah, more toward the east side, near the HEB on 79. He nodded like that meant something. Then he asked if we ever go to that little coffee place with the dog-friendly patio on University. We do, actually, a lot. My wife mentioned we take the kid there on weekends sometimes. He smiled. "Yeah, I've seen that place. Looks peaceful." His girlfriend shifted in her seat. She hadn't spoken much in the last 10 minutes. Then he asked about our street. Not the name, but is it one of those neighborhoods with the big front yards and the cul-de-sacs? We said, yeah. He kept going. Bet the houses all look the same from the front. White trim, maybe a basketball hoop in the driveway. My wife glanced at me. I could tell she was starting to feel it too. I tried steering the conversation. "So, what about you two? Where do you live?" He waved it off. "Oh, we're still in the city. Downtown loft. Nothing fancy." Then he turned back to my wife. "You still run in the mornings? I remember you liked those trails around Brushy Creek." The table went quiet. My wife set her glass down slowly. "I'm sorry, how do you know that?" He blinked like he'd been caught mid-thought. We used to work together. Same company, different floors. You probably don't remember me. I was in engineering back then." She stared at him. I don't think we did." "Sure we did," he said, voice still calm. "You were in product marketing. I sat 2 cubes over from your team for like 8 months. 2017, maybe 2018. You turned me down for coffee once. Said you were seeing someone." He looked at me. "I guess that worked out." His girlfriend stood up. "I need some air." She walked toward the food trucks. He didn't even watch her go. I felt my pulse in my throat. "Look, man, I think we're gonna head out." No, stay. It's Valentine's. We're just catching up. I've been thinking about you guys a lot lately. Wondered if you were still happy, if you made the right choice." My wife's hand found mine under the table and squeezed hard. He leaned forward. "I just wanted to see for myself. See if you looked as content as I pictured. And you do. You really do." I stood up. "We're leaving." He didn't try to stop us physically, just watched as we grabbed our coats. As we walked toward the street, he called after us. Not loud, just clear enough to carry over the music. "Tell her I said Happy Valentine's. Tell her she's as happy as she seems." We didn't look back. We got in the car and drove straight home. Neither of us spoke for the first 20 minutes. When we hit 183 North, my wife finally said, "I don't remember him at all." I believed her, but that didn't make it better. A couple days later, she went through her old work email, found one message from 2018, short, polite, asking if she wanted to grab coffee after a team meeting. She'd replied, "Thanks, but I'm seeing someone." That was it. No follow-up, no drama. But he'd kept it for years. We changed our morning routine, stopped going to that coffee place, started driving the kid to school a different way. Nothing dramatic, just cautious. About 3 weeks later, nothing more happened. No messages, no sightings, no strange coincidences. The girlfriend from that night must have talked to him, or maybe he just got the message from how we left. Either way, the chapter closed quietly.
Yeah, this happened last Valentine's Day, and I still don't know what to make of it. My girlfriend, Amanda, and I decided to drive from Austin to Marfa for the weekend. That's about 6 hours through mostly empty highway, but we thought it'd be a nice romantic getaway. We left Friday afternoon around 3. Everything was normal at first. Music, snacks, talking about random stuff. Just a regular road trip. About 2 hours outside Austin, we saw this guy standing on the side of the highway. Middle of nowhere. No car, no gas station, nothing around for miles. Just some dude in jeans and a jacket holding a sign that said Dallas. Amanda wanted to pick him up. I said absolutely not. We argued about it for a few minutes, but I was driving, so we kept going. 30 minutes later, we stopped at a gas station. When I came out of the bathroom, Amanda was talking to someone by our car. He was the same guy, same jacket, same sign. "How did you get here?" I asked. He smiled. "Got a ride. Listen, I really need to get to Dallas. My mom's sick. I can pay for gas." Amanda was already sold on helping him. I didn't like it, but I didn't want to fight with her on Valentine's weekend, so I said fine. He got in the back seat. His name was Dave. At least that's what he told us. He didn't talk much, just sat there looking out the window. Amanda tried making conversation, but he only gave short answers, so eventually she gave up. About an hour down the road, I looked in the rearview mirror. Dave was staring at me. Not casual looking, intense staring, direct eye contact. When I caught his eye, he didn't look away, just kept staring with this blank expression. "You good back there?" I asked. "Yeah, keep driving." Amanda noticed too. "Dave, do you need us to pull over?" "No, I'm fine. Keep driving." Something about the way he said it felt wrong. 20 minutes passed. Every time I checked the mirror, Dave was staring at me. Not the road, not at Amanda, just at me. Then Amanda's phone rang, her mom. She answered and turned toward the window, distracted. That's when Dave leaned forward between the seats and whispered right next to my ear, "Don't stop driving until I tell you to." My heart started racing. "What?" "You heard me. Don't stop. Don't pull over. Just keep going." "What are you talking about?" "There's someone following us. Black truck, 3 cars back. Been there since the gas station." I checked my side mirror. There was a black truck several cars behind us. "How do you know they're following us?" I asked. "Because they're following me," he said quietly. "And now you're involved, so just drive." Amanda hung up. "What's going on?" "Nothing," Dave said quickly, "just talking about the route." But she knew something was wrong. She looked at me, and I didn't know what to say. We drove in complete silence for 40 minutes. I kept checking the mirrors. The black truck was always there, keeping the same distance. Dave sat perfectly still, watching. Finally, Amanda broke. "Okay, what the fuck is happening?" Dave didn't answer immediately. Then, "Take the next exit." "Why?" I asked. "Just do it." Something in his voice made me listen. Not threatening exactly, but dead serious. I took the exit. It led to this tiny town, barely anything there. Dave directed me through a series of turns down a dirt road. The black truck took the same exit, still following. "Pull over here," Dave said. We were in front of an old abandoned church. "I'm not—" "Pull over, now." I pulled over. My hands were shaking. Amanda was crying. Dave got out. The black truck stopped behind us. A big guy got out and started walking toward Dave. I was reaching for my phone when Dave turned back and said through the window, "Drive away, right now. Don't look back." "What about you?" Amanda asked. "I'll be fine. Just go. Don't stop until you're back on the highway." The guy from the truck was getting closer. Amanda was screaming at me to go, so I floored it. We drove straight to Marfa without stopping once. Got there around midnight. Barely slept. A whole weekend was ruined. We just wanted to go home. On the drive back, we took a different route. We didn't talk about what happened. When I got home, I checked the news from that area. Nothing. No incidents reported that night, no arrests, nothing. I tried finding that church on Google Maps, couldn't find it. The roads didn't match what I remembered. Amanda and I broke up 2 months later. We never talked about Dave again.
Last Valentine's Day, I tried to do something thoughtful for my wife. We've been married 8 years, have 2 young kids, and live in a quiet suburb in Broward County, Florida. Date nights are rare these days. Work, school runs, the usual chaos. I'd been planning for weeks and reserved a table at Joe's Stone Crab on Washington Avenue in Miami Beach. It's an iconic place, opened in 1913 with that classic South Florida vibe, white tablecloths, bustling waiters, the smell of fresh stone crabs and key lime pie. I figured a drive down I-95, a nice dinner, and a night away from the routine would feel special. We dropped the kids at her parents' house in Plantation and headed south around 6:30 p.m. Traffic was manageable for a weekday. The weather was perfect, mid-70s, light breeze off the Atlantic. The kind of February evening that reminds you why people move to Florida. She changed into a red dress at home, the one she saves for occasions, and we parked on Collins Avenue, a few blocks north of the restaurant. Street parking was tight, but we found a spot and walked over, arm in arm, past the Art Deco hotels and neon lights starting to glow. We got seated just after 8. The dining room was full, but not overwhelming. Couples everywhere, some tourists, some locals dressed up. We ordered the medium stone crabs, chilled with mustard sauce, coleslaw, and hash browns, split a bottle of white wine. She was relaxed, telling me about a project at her marketing job in Fort Lauderdale, laughing in that way she does when she's truly off the clock. For a while, everything felt right again. That's when I noticed the man next to our table. He was alone, mid-40s maybe, dressed neatly in a light blue button-down and slacks, nothing flashy. He had a small sketch pad open and was working with a mechanical pencil, quick, focused strokes. At first, I thought he was capturing the room, the old photos on the walls, the energy of the place. Artists sketch in Miami Beach all the time. But then I looked closer. He was drawing her, my wife. The likeness was immediate and unsettling. The exact curve of her smile, the way her hair fell across one shoulder, even the small details like the thin necklace she always wears. He'd been at it for a while, shading carefully, erasing tiny bits. Every few seconds, he'd glance up briefly, not staring, just referencing, then back to the page. I felt a chill, but tried to brush it off. Told myself it was harmless. People draw strangers in public. She noticed me tense. "You okay?" "Yeah," I said. "That guy over there, he's sketching you." She turned subtly. He didn't react, just kept working. Gave a small, polite nod when our eyes met, then continued. We finished the meal. The crabs were perfect, the pie tart and sweet. We paid, close to $200 with tip, and got up to leave. As we passed his table, I couldn't resist a glance. The sketch was nearly complete. Her face in the foreground, me blurred behind her, the candlelight flickering on the table. It was eerily accurate. Outside, the walk back to the car felt different. The street was alive, people heading to clubs, music from Ocean Drive spilling over. I kept my arm around her, but my mind was racing. How long had he been watching? Did he follow us in?
We reached the car. Tucked under the windshield wiper was a folded sheet of paper. I thought it was a flyer at first, common down there. But when I unfolded it under a street lamp, my stomach dropped. It was the sketch, ripped carefully from his pad. Her face, our table, every detail. In the bottom corner, neat handwriting. Happy Valentine's Day. She's absolutely radiant tonight. My wife read it over my shoulder. How did he do this so fast? We scanned the street. Busy, but no one lingering nearby. He'd finished, left the restaurant, found our car among hundreds in minutes. The drive home on I-95 North was quiet. I checked the rear view constantly, past Hallandale, past the exits for Hollywood, no one following. Got home around 11, locked up tight. I threw the sketch in the garage trash. Next morning, actual Valentine's Day, I made coffee and went out for the newspaper. On the front mat was a plain white envelope. Our address handwritten, no stamp. Inside, another sketch. Same style. This one captured her laughing later in the dinner, head tilted back, me in the frame smiling at her. Margin note, you make each other so happy. Cherish every moment. We called the Broward Sheriff's Department non-emergency line. A deputy came that afternoon, took photos of both sketches, asked questions, any exes, strange interactions lately. No, he said it looked like a stalker, obsessive but not yet threatening. Advised cameras, vary routines, document everything. We installed a Ring doorbell that week, motion lights, changed locks, reported to Miami Beach PD too. Joe's had no interior cameras for privacy. Staff remembered a quiet guy alone, but nothing specific. Weeks turned into months. Nothing else arrived. No odd cars on our street, no more envelopes. We started to relax, chalked it up to a creepy one-off. Then in September, we went back to Miami Beach for a quick Saturday lunch on Ocean Drive. Casual spot, nothing fancy. Parked nearby, walked around, enjoyed the people watching. Walking back to the car, my wife stopped. Look, under the windshield wiper again. Fresh sketch. Us that day, her in sunglasses, jeans, holding my hand on the sidewalk, cafe awning in the background, exact details. Note, it's been too long. Happy belated Valentine's. We bagged it carefully, called police. Now a formal case, linked across departments. Detectives think he might work in the area. Valet, server, someone who blends in and watches couples. We've moved since. New place farther north, unlisted address. She works remote now. We avoid South Beach completely. No more Collins parking, no Ocean Drive. Police say without a face or prints, it's tough. No violence, just fixation. But every February, that unease returns. I check the doors, scan the street. I don't think it's finished.